Hello. You're enjoying it. Oh, you'll probably enjoy it more than the stream, then, mate. Welcome to Bulls Paint Club. I am joined today by the Badger. How are you, Mr. Badger?
Jolly good sir.
Jolly good indeed. How's your week been?
My week has been pretty okay, actually. Up until Saturday, when I went back to work and had 2 hours of overtime instantly. So,
Agreed. Oh, you cheeky bugger. We are joined by Beardbow Baggins. Hello, Stevie. Hope
greetings,
you're
good
well
sir.
this evening. We are here to paint some Warhammer and do some chill chat. So that's what we're going to do. What are you painting today, Mr. Badger?
I am painting some Sisters of Battle. They are the Paragon War suits.
No, oh, Paragon Warsuits, nice. You picked them up recently, didn't you?
I did pick them up recently because, as much as I think they're a super derpy looking thing, I want them.
You want
They
them?
are a nice little close combat choice for my troops. My
Oh, you're
army.
getting some love for your T-shirt, mate. Beardbow
Oh
Baggins
yeah,
says, "Within temptation." Oh yes.
certainly. I've had this T-shirt for
Yeah, so
years.
I've switched it up a bit. The intro tracks I'm gonna now start doing game OSTs. So, oh, Mr. Rich, thank you so much. Thank you for the subscription.
Welcome.
And welcome. Yes, I'm going to be painting some Space Marine boys. Let me get my camera majigger up so I can actually make it focus. There you go. This is what the end result. The end result for today is going to look like. It's not particularly tidy, but you can tell what it is. It's an Imperial Fist, and I've got a bunch of very dusty Space Marines, which I'm going to need to quickly dust before I start painting them. And for some reason, I decided when I stuck these together, I wouldn't make a sergeant. So I've had to cannibalise one. I've dug out a little head hole in that, and I've grabbed a sword off out of my spare bits box and a one of these fancy multi guns, the bolter with a melter gun attached to it. So we're gonna do that. That's what this guy's gonna have. So yeah, good day to Mr. Richard and Mr. Stevie. How are you gentlemen today? I caught your stream before, Richard. It was fun.
Stepping around on the boat.
Yeah, yourself and young Badger having a little derp on a boat.
I can honestly say when that game starts, starting on multiplayer is not the easiest thing because the boat is only 4 squares wide, and there's two of you, so
Gets a
it's a
little
bit
bit congested.
snug. Certainly
man.
snug.
Right, so I'm getting all my colours out. Brand spanking new colours for me Imperial Fists.
But we are the dream team.
Beardbow's just finished work. He's tired. Good man. It's a long shift, like. So I've got my fist in red. Oh yes, I should probably put the sweet classical music on in the background. I mean, I could put the metal back on, but like, you wouldn't be able to hear us over it, which is probably fine. So I've got Uriel yellow. Oh my god, I already had your Uriel yellow. I didn't even need to buy any. Oh
And this
man.
is where you open it up and check it to see if it's not solid.
No, it's pretty liquidy. Never mind. Got 2 Uriel yellows then. Need to find out. You need to find the will to go out for a run. Oh man, just stay indoors, man. Stay with us. And there's Avalon Sunset, the main yellow. Oops. No, it was actually doing then. No. There we go. So I need black as well. A Baden black. And lead belcher. They're pretty much all of the colours I'm going to need, I think. For this dude right here.
This guy.
This
This guy
guy.
right here.
Apparently I didn't actually stop the music.
just keeps going. You can't stop the metal, Dave.
You just can't stop the metal. Right. So, let's begin. Right, I'm going to do the Sergeant first of all, because that's going to be the trickiest model, because he's basically not built now. I'm tempted to start to paint the torso and then paint the arms and then stick them on.
That can work, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit fiddly, especially the head, because that's like, yeah, the head snapped, so I don't have a ball on the end, on the bottom of it. So hopefully I'll be able to stick it in a way that will work.
For now.
Indeed. Oh yeah, in that case I'll need the flesh colours, won't I? Where are you?
No.
Fleshy. Ah, he's got one of them. Purity seals. Where's the flesh? I think that's it. Yeah, Keslow flesh. Here we go. So yeah, how, ow, you've had a week off. What have you done, sir?
Well, I got considerably more stuff painted, to be honest.
Nice.
I had the startup of my new stream schedule.
Yes, you did some sweet Shrek porn. We all enjoyed that.
I'd say you've all enjoyed that. Some might have enjoyed it too much.
Oh, you know I did. So yeah, Badger is the internet's #1 Shrek hentai artist now. So it's a good claim to fame. Right, first things first, I need to get my Uriel yellow. Should probably base coat the bits that have snapped off, shouldn't I? Oh yeah, I should probably put the light on as well. That'd probably help.
That would help.
Hey, there you go.
That would likely help.
You see my shiny face? Ugh. Right, Uriel yellow's not the one I'm using. It's Avalon Sunset, which is the base coat, isn't it?
Yes.
Whoop.
Start off with the Avalon.
Aye. Right. Yeah, this week I finished Vampire Masquerade, which was awesome. We had a really nice time on Sunday. Finished that game off.
Sad that I kind of missed it. But I can go back to the VODs.
You can. I did put links up on Twitter for all of the whole Let's Play. So if you got, I think it was 28 hours, 28 and a half hours ish. It ended up being. So if you got 28 and a half hours free, and you've got some time to kill, go ahead. Fill your boots, mate. Fill your boots.
But fill them with what?
With yummy, yummy Let's Play goodness.
Because vampires and all that, who will.
Indeed. Yeah, it was good, and there is I'm going to do a best of moments sort of / review video. Yeah, a little compilation, like I did with Ape Escape. It won't be a very in-depth review. It'll just be like my basic thoughts on it. Because I can't be asked writing a script or anything, so I'll just be like,
well,
I thought this.
If it's anything like the Ape Escape thing, it'll just be a 10-minute flicker.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, boy.
Pretty much that, yeah. So that'll be a nice video to put out.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, most of the clips that are going to get featured on the video are already up on my TikTok, so if you've seen all of them, you probably don't need to see it, but it's a nice compilation of all of the best moments. All the best jank.
Bringing everybody together to see all the fun bits.
Yeah, that game had its issues, like, but it was just such a likable game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It had its good old school charms. And to be honest, even though it's such an old game, it actually didn't look that terrible.
No, it didn't. To be fair, it was upscaled to 1440p towards the end, so
1440 penis.
yeah.
Where is my clippers? Put them down some. There they are. Oh, I put them down somewhere and I started to panic because they had disappeared.
I
I've
mean,
got a big,
go on,
got a big issue with these.
go
Is
on.
that I'm not 100% certain how I should paint them because I'm wondering whether or not I should paint them in the style of my vehicles. So a sort of purple and black
Mm-hmm.
with metallic trims, or if I should paint them like the infantry and just go full on purple with the gold fluff.
Hmm.
And it's,
Is it basically a mech suit?
yes, it's essentially a mech suit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have the same issue when I get the Imperial Guard sort of big armor suits. In that, like, my tanks won't necessarily. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I would go with whatever you usually paint your armor plate as.
Now, the thing is, I'm not 100% certain about the armor suits that you're talking about because the only things that I know about with the Imperial Guard
Yeah.
are the Sentinels.
No, they're small. They're a bit. They look a bit like stealth suits. I saw them in the shop anyway.
They might be the Tempestus Scions.
Maybe.
And there goes a bit of a foot. Where is it? Oh, I just dropped it. Shit the bed. Ah, are you? Yes, you are that piece of foot. Excellent. I was worried.
Yeah, I wonder if Snooglyphin's going to join us at any point to talk about the thing that he can now talk about. I think.
Yeah, I think it's all out now.
Yeah. How he's getting on with that, I wonder. Painting his orky boys.
Painting all dem boys. Right, where? What am I doing?
Hoorah.
Hoorah, indeed.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I haven't actually looked at the news today. We usually have a the fucking news
Well,
thing.
for the most part, everybody is. This is most definitely a very brief rundown. I haven't had a big chance to sort of look into it as much on all of the stories, but rundown kind of goes like this. And most people are talking about the MP who stood up and essentially called Boris Johnson a lying sack of shit
Nice.
in more polite words than that, but she was asked to leave the Houses of Parliament because it called him out on all his bollocks.
Well, good on
Um,
her.
yes, but the bad thing about that is she was told to leave the Houses of Parliament because she called him out on his bollocks. Nobody stood up and like applauded the thing. It was just lays down the law. This is what's happened, and then she got punished for it, essentially.
I mean, if she's getting asked to leave the House of Commons, that's probably fine. I mean, she'll be back, and good on her for doing it.
Hmm, that's not the bit that I need.
But yeah, nice.
Ah, right. The second thing, which I I'm sure everybody has already seen little clippets and snippets of, is the fact that South Africa is imploding in on itself.
Oh no.
There's been like massive riots and looting and destruction of property, and essentially the government have done fuck all to stop it.
Huh.
So
That's not
people
good.
people's livelihood, it's bad to such an extent that private property was raided, expensive things were taken, and then things were burned. That's
Yeah.
how bad it is.
So a bit of lawlessness going on there then. Bloody hell.
Yep. And the the government's essentially getting absolutely slated for just not doing anything.
I mean, as you would, yeah. Bloody hell.
Um, and then, of course, obviously, the other thing that I know of is good old Jeff Bezos flying to space in his giant rocket ship.
Yeah.
Because who designs a spaceship to look like that?
I mean, obviously Jeff Bezos.
Big old,
So
big
it
old.
goes to his science team. Oh, I nearly just dipped me fucking paint in tea.
So it goes to his science team and says, "I've already had my midlife crisis. Can you one up it?" And they're like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. So I wish to fly to space in a giant penis.
I have all the millions of dollars to work with.
Now make it
Make it
happen.
so. And I think one of the last things give my brain a bit of time to cycle through what I remember hearing.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, Stevie. Have a good. Enjoy your run, sir.
Have a good run and potentially enjoy your sleep afterwards.
Yeah.
Pass out on the couch.
It's that's gonna be a fun run.
Emphasis on the fun. You
Yeah.
will have fun.
Commander Fun.
Just release the hounds. But the last sort of moderately big thing that
Mm-hmm.
I've recently sort of read and seen is, of course, good old Activision Blizzard.
Oh
Because
yes, I saw
just
the Jimquisition before we started.
they just can't help themselves.
It's not Activision Blizzard. It's the games industry as a whole. It's rotten to the core.
Regardless, they just can't fucking help themselves.
Yeah. So, shall we tackle this?
Go at it a little bit.
Whew, right.
I'm trying to figure out how this bloody sticks together. Aha! Victory is mine!
Yeah. So essentially, what's happened is, a court case has been brought against Activision Blizzard specifically, following a female member of their team taking their own life, sadly, following harassment, sexual harassment, during a. I think it was some sort of
Business outing.
yeah. It's like a business holiday, if you got what I mean. So basically, the team went away on some sort of business trip, and this guy sexually harassed her, and then showed naked pictures of her to everyone who would look. And she has taken her own life, sadly. It's tragic, and there's nothing funny about it, and it's just appalling, basically.
We will have to see what repercussions come from this.
Yeah.
See what half-assed bloody apology story decides to ooze its way out of the
I mean,
HR departments.
the HR department in you know, in video games companies is not. That's not. It's not there to protect the staff. It's there to protect the company. And they're going to spin this as hard as they can to try and get the manager off the hook. But it's
lose as much heat as possible.
yeah, exactly. And it's not just this one guy. It's a cultural thing. I mean, you just have to look at Ubisoft. They were called out on it last year, and they've gone through, you know, a lot of shit basically. And even now, like a very recent study that was done found that female members of staff still do not feel safe working there, which is awful, really.
That's one of the big sort of tenets of a company is to provide your staff with a safe workplace.
In this country, yes. In
No.
most other countries, that's not law. Sadly. In America, there is no law saying that you have to have a safe place to work, I don't think.
I think that's getting better though, actually. I think they are starting to bring in more reasonable health and safety gear into those.
Yeah. But, you know, and even so, even like in work, you know, even in countries where it is a thing, it's not that safety doesn't necessarily in law translate to like feeling safe, if you know what I mean, and like emotional abuse and like that sort of thing, and
It's all down to a physical well-being rather
yeah.
than.
We get the big talk all the time here.
100% big talk.
Yeah. Oh man. So let's see what else we've got on in the news. Apparently Bitcoin's having a resurgency now. Doesn't matter.
It should just die.
Yeah.
Funny money, man. Funny money.
Like it's not even real money, man. It doesn't exist.
To be honest, a vast amount of actual money doesn't really exist.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, most of the economy is just numbers in a spreadsheet. Apparently, the one of the girls who won gold at the Olympics is a Witcher fan. Who knew? Right, okay. Back to the Warhammer.
No, it's still really warm.
It is. It's getting better. I really hope it does like totally calm down now the temperature, because I've had enough.
Well, that reminds me of yet one more thing to bring up news-wise.
Go on.
As much as we still have the heat up in the Northlands,
Yeah.
London and a lot of the southern areas have been flooded out.
Oh shit! Really?
Yep.
I have
pretty
not
sure
looked at the news today.
I've seen videos of, the underground train stations and that.
Yeah, yeah.
They are just filling up with water.
Holy fuck! What has it been? Is it like a? Has it been raining badly down there?
It's been torrential rains,
Oh wow!
so they've all been wrecked by those.
Jeez.
We've been like super dry, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen rain in weeks.
Haven't seen rain for 120 years.
Yeah, I could, I'd murder for a little bit of that rain. Spread the love, London. Come on. Although if you have been affected by floods, I'm sorry about that. I mean, it wasn't my fault, but yeah.
Dave puts away his little rainmaker outfit.
Oh man. Ooh. Trying to get this little, these little nooks and crannies all painted. I am annoyed that I undercoated these in black now, because it is becoming an annoyance to try and paint them. I don't think I'm ever going to get them like as yellow as I'd like them to be.
Should be fine. It's just something to learn for the next
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I
next
undercoated them, they were going to be ultramarines, so
Shoot the way it is.
yes, it is.
Right.
Do 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 do.
Quickly turn on my bloody fan. I am melting.
Yeah, I've had a fan on pretty much constantly for the last week and a half.
I've got to be careful with my fan now.
Why?
Poor Richard stood on it and knackered it. So
Huh?
the base is all cracked.
I mean, the electrics are all fine, aren't they?
Oh yeah, the fan itself actually still works. I've just got to be careful it doesn't tip over on itself.
Alright. As long as the cage is still intact and that, and it should be fine.
Oh yes.
Okay. Clean the brush again. I'm not sure how many models I'm going to get done here.
As many as you can. That's
Yeah, I might get one done, I might get two done. We'll see.
see what comes out of it.
Yeah. Alright. Another little blob of yellow. Get some water in that. I'm having to go for like multiple thin coats to get this yellow to show up properly. Are you back in work next week? Or this week even?
I am, yes.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
there you go. One more stream of freedom and then you're back. I know you said that you didn't know what you were drawing tomorrow, but any thoughts?
I'm probably gonna go through like a few little character concepts that I've
Okay.
had. We'll go through character concepts and we'll see what the chat has to say.
I mean, you know what the chat's going to say.
Yes, this is why I will take it into careful consideration.
And then refuse it immediately. He will look like he's pondering it and then say, nah.
All I can think of is the Avengers meme with Samuel L. Jackson there, and he goes, "Oh, that just well, I'll take that idea into consideration, even though that's a stupid idea."
I wonder what Samuel L. Jackson's doing at the minute. I haven't seen him in a film in a while. He's usually in everything.
I was going to say they haven't really made that many films recently, to be honest.
Yeah.
We have made done it. Oof. Or if they have, they're keeping things very, very hush hush.
Yeah. I think it's probably just a case of not many films are getting made. Not like he's suffering or anything. He's got plenty of money to sleep on.
Plenty of cash.
Yeah. Stranger. You are seeming very musical today. I saw you in the stream before, just singing along to everything.
Yeah, uh, it, it's just there. It's a reappearance of a bad habit when I originally used to stream games and things. I would just hum to myself as I'm going along, doing little story bits. I'm pretty sure if Woolrich still has it, you might get to see me playing Sticks, Master of Shadows.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I remember you
that
streaming that ages ago, man.
that was a very, very long run.
Yeah.
Um, I'm pretty sure there was like an absolute stupid amount of episodes for that. Because
Yeah.
I am the bad at video games.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Well, since I left it off during the last stream, I have left on the choose my next let's play as an option in the channel points. So if you're interested in seeing me let's play a game, just try not to make it a game that's got millions and millions of hours. I've been quite lucky with my last few main let's plays. They've been doable. I mean, Vampire the Masquerade was definitely the longest, but it was it was 8 streams, which is that's a good amount of streams. There was plenty of fun had there.
Japes.
Yes, japes. Right, I'm going to undercoat that. I'm going to undercut the whole thing. So it's a mechanical arm, so I'm just going to lead belch the hell out of it. Right, Abaddon Black. Let's switch brushes because that one seems a little bit knackered now. It'll do. Yeah, this one's a little bit cleaner. Okay. How are you getting on with your models?
Getting on there quite well, actually. They're, from the look of them on the box art and all that stuff, and taking into consideration looking at the actual Sisters of Battle models themselves,
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be shorter.
Are they quite tall boys?
It looked like they would have been shorter, but it does seem that they are a reasonable height.
Nice. So they're going to tower over the usual sisters, basically.
They'll tower over the Sisters. They're at least double the height of the normal Sisters.
Wow, double.
Almost. I'll have to. Well, yeah. easy enough to show. There's a pair of legs. That's the sister.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, the.
Yeah, that's a big model.
Small boys.
Is it supposed to be a suit of armor?
It's like a
Or is
the stupid Dread Knight.
The stupid Dread Knight
from the Grey Knights.
Right.
The huge sort of walking suit with a Terminator strapped to the front of it.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. It's just smaller and more compact.
Bloody hell.
This is why it looks dirty.
Right.
Where was I? What was I doing? I put that paint away before I used it fully. God damn it.
I'm sorry if I distracted you there.
No, it's alright. I was happy to show the progress.
Aye. My models are coming... Well, my model... I can't really say plural yet because I haven't even started painting another one.
Your models are coming, Dave.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, this one's the difficult one because it's the one that I'm sort of trying to...
Get bash, essentially.
Yeah, I'm essentially converting it from, like, a standard model.
Hodgepodge all of the broken bits together.
Yeah, pretty much. And hopefully I'll make an okay-looking sergeant.
Is this because you accidentally made all of the dudes the same, Dave?
Yeah. I've got two models there, which I'm not sure where I got them. If you know what I mean. They're both metal, and ow. So it's like I'm not 100% sure where I've got them because I've got a unit of 10 models.
The likelihood is they've either been, bought off somebody out of like a weird scramtion lot of other models, or you did actually buy them from like the hobby shops.
I think I probably did buy them. It's just I'm just wondering where the other two models have gone. Because like you get a squad, don't you? And it comes with 10 people.
Well, yes.
And so I've clearly stuck them all together, and then I'm assuming the sergeant's probably been lost somewhere. Either I've attached him onto another squad, or the sprue might still be somewhere. I don't know. If it's somewhere, it'll probably be in my mum and dad's house. That's where I sprayed them.
Which means it will forever be there. Hidden.
Oh. Not sure if the microphone picked that up.
No, I just heard like a painful grunt.
Yeah, that was a
did not
rather
hear the
nice
additional
flatulence.
maximum flacho.
Indeed.
Okay, before I put this away, do I fucking need to do anything else with it? All there and random purity seals.
You know you'll find one as soon as you put it away.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it.
Badge puts the brush in away, and all of a sudden, whoop, there it is.
I'm waiting for that, to be honest.
It's gonna happen. Okay. The gun's sort of undercoated. Let's clean that brush before the paint dries too much. Yes. I'm actually keen to get this guy stuck together because I have no idea if it's going to work out, because the pieces obviously aren't pieces that are made for this model. Hopefully it'll be fine, because, Space Marine models are fairly standard.
They are. They're very, very flexible. And if they're the older, bunch, then they're most certainly flexible because they were made to be.
I don't know if they're the older bunch. I think these models I bought at the same time I bought quite a lot of my Imperial Guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of meaning. They're none of the
Oh yeah,
Primaris era
yeah.
of
I don't think it's any of that. Oof.
box sets. So
Yeah. Right, let's get a bit more black because I need to do the other half of this arm here. Won't need much of it, just a little blob.
I think I know how I'm going to do this now.
Oh, aye.
Well, it's got a lot of like heavier looking front mounted armor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll do those heavier plates with the purple
Yeah.
and leave the rear plates. Now I think I might actually leave the rear plates silver rather than going over them with black.
Okay. I mean, if you put them silver and you don't like it, it's easier to paint over silver with black than it is to paint over black with silver. So, I would do that, and then you can always fix it if you don't like it.
Yep, because what'll happen is I'll paint this all up and I'll have a look at it at the end of its completion, and I'll be like, does that need a bit more definition or not? And then, of course, if it does, I'll switch things up.
Yes. And that is how we paint, people. Trial and error. Right. Is that everything? All the black bits done? I could do with base coating the metal model since some of the paint is chipped. Metal models bloody eat lead. They eat paint, man. They just drink it.
Not as much as the fine cast resin, but
Hmm.
yes, I do understand. They are not as absorbent.
That's a metal model. He's got no hand at the minute because there's a plasma gun that's fallen off, which I'll need to stick back on. I'm going to wait until I've painted the Aquila before I stick the gun back on.
It's easier to get in at.
Yep. Right. Speaking of painting the Aquila, I should probably have a look at doing that on this model. Which brush to use? Medium small, I think we'll go for. The Aquila, I painted in gold, which is against what the the paint guide tells you.
Well, the paint guide tells you that the Aquillas need to be painted red,
And fuck that, I ain't doing that.
but
It's a metallic
the
colour.
same thing can go for all of my ultramarines. Their Aquillas are supposed to be gold,
Yeah,
and I've got them silvered. So it all just comes down to personal preference.
exactly. And I don't know why I'm getting a big blob of that, because I'm only going to need the tiniest bit, because I'm only painting one Aquila here.
Minutes later, Dave's
Indeed.
painted all of the Aquillas.
If I've got the paint, I might as well.
Good.
I'm just...
Oh, good.
you can tell I'm doing a tricky bit here that I don't want to mess up. So I'm going very, very silent.
Let's look at the concentration phase. Slowly, slowly zoom in. Zoom in as close as you can possibly get. Right up the nostril. Oh, the Emperor!
Right, yeah, I might as well do the Aquila on this guy. Since it's out in the open.
Starting off with his sister superior, aka the sergeant.
Sag. Sag large.
Sausage.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's all. That's all that we needed to do on that. I didn't even need the blob I had. Right, there we go. I'm going to need another coat of yellow on that at some point soon. But I'll get everything else done and then I'll just tidy up the yellow. Seems a quiet day on Twitch today.
It is a bit of a quiet day.
Hmm.
I think there might be a lot of people going back to work on this day.
Yeah.
As such. And most of them should already be home by now, because 9 till 5 work rules.
Yeah.
And not the really, really weird, horrific bloody work patterns that we all seem to work.
I'm 9 to 5.
You are the company standard, Dave.
Yeah. What a way to make a living.
Whereas Stevie has
Dodgy shifts.
his day shift, night shift switchover. I have the 4 till midnight, or 4 till whenever overtime lets us come home shifts. Woolwich at the minute has no stable influx of the cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just done the thing that I do every time. I have realised about almost an hour into the stream that I haven't touched my cup of tea, and I am now attempting to down it before it goes cold.
Down one. Wait. Lads.
What do you think, Poppy? Little face. Hi.
Little dog face.
Oh man.
I am expecting the slow encroachment of a wizard or suddenly bear.
I mean, bear will appear when his ball is.
And his beer.
No, I was just having a look around, and yes, I see a wizard. He's over on the couch behind me.
On the big couch.
Oh, he's having a nice kip.
He's eventually temperature's eventually starting to cool down.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them this week. It's been really bad for them.
I've seen plenty of little temperature charts around saying, you shouldn't be walking your dogs at these temperatures and all that type of thing. Yeah, that's all well and good, but the temperature doesn't disappear when you go inside the house.
I know there's a
In fact,
reason. There's a reason you shouldn't walk your dogs
well, yeah,
in hot
because they've
temperatures.
they've got they've got tendencies to burn their feet.
Yeah,
They can actually overheat worse than if they were just inside the house.
yeah. If you work in them, they will overheat horrifically, and they could die. Their paws can literally melt into the pavement. So don't walk your dogs when the temperature is above. There's in terms of the just like straight up temperature for the concrete, it's like 20-25 degrees. Well, it's like 20-22 basically. The hottest you can get away with is like 19 realistically in pure sunlight. There is a calculation that you're supposed to do, which is like um, I think it's the temperature times the humidity, and it needs to not be over a certain amount. Just Google it if you want to know what the actual thing is. But basically, if it's over a certain number, then it's dangerous to exercise dogs outside, basically, and you shouldn't do it because then they are at risk, especially if you've got like an older dog or like a husky, like we've got.
Or any kind of brachycephalic dogs.
Yeah, basically any dogs that aren't used to hot weather, or who have like are vulnerable to like overexertion, like an old dog like Luke is, then you're gonna push them to the point where they might have a little dog heart attack and die.
You don't want that, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you do not. So do not walk
Or
your dog in hot temperatures. I don't care how much they want to be walked. Tell them no.
let them out in the back garden and spray them with a hose.
Exactly. We've got a little paddling pool for Bear. He goes out there. I think he's popped his paddling pool actually now, but it until yesterday it held water and he liked to just go paddling in it, and it was fun.
This is why I think a lot of people get. And I know I've seen people with specialist dog pools, which are made of like thicker, more robust materials. So
I
that
mean, we've got a hard plastic one as well, which is like dead tiny, which we got for him when he was a pup. But he's a bit big for that. But he still enjoys like us throwing toys in it, and he just dogs his head in it, and it cools him
is,
off a little bit.
isn't it also worth getting hold of one of the old children's sand pits?
That's exactly what he's got.
Like a
That's the hard plastic. Yeah, the little blue shells.
plastic seashell, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's got.
God, they're ancient.
Yeah, they are, but you can still buy them in B&M.
And they will never go away. They will never die.
Yeah, there'll be a landfill in like decades to come, strangling fish or something, I guess.
It's confusing the sea creatures. I mean, what kind of large shell creature has this shell?
Yeah,
And then you look at it and it's just a kiddie's play shell. And then you sigh to yourself.
yeah. Oh, we were in Tesco the other day and we saw a flashing bull. One of my mates has got one for his dog, and it looked cool. It looked cool, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get one of them. So while we were in Tesco, I bought one, and I thought, yeah, this ball will be like nice and robust, and you can play with it, and it won't break.
How long did it last, Dave?
2 hours. Yep, just 2 hours.
Ah, 2 hours of all of the fun. Too
I
much
mean,
fun.
he still enjoys it, even though it's like smashed open and in like several pieces. He just destroys anything you give him. He's
Just a rough boy.
yeah. He likes to chew on stuff a lot. That's the thing. He likes the feeling of like, especially plastic. He loves on his teeth. It's like yang 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 yay. This is nice. And then yeah, he'll he'll break it and then he'll be sad for a bit.
Because he broke it, and then he'll be like, I don't care anymore. And he'll go back to chewing the carcass.
Exactly. I don't know why I'm painting this bit now, because I'm just going to paint over it with like the yellow. I'm just using the red paint up, to be honest.
Force of habit, Dave.
Yeah,
of
I'm
habit.
just trying to use it up before it dries. Which has happened now. Right, there we go.
Dave,
Yes.
you know how you said I'd miss a bit?
Did you miss a bit?
Guess what bit?
Was it the purity seal?
Okay, no, it's not a purity seal, it's gloves.
Oh,
Gloves. I thought they were armored gloves. They're not. They're not, Dave.
they're hand gloves.
They're not, Dave. Really?
Ree.
This is going to be interesting.
Yes.
Really, really thin bits.
I keep dunching the brush against the pot, which like sort of splays the bristles a bit. Splayed a bit. Don't like it. Don't like it. Right, next we've got silver. The belch of the lead. La belch o' da lead. Alright, there you go. Give it a little fin. Nom 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 nom. Okay, get some of that paint off the brush. There we go. And then melt a gun end, melt a gun end. Yes.
Get the sun on again. Helps me concentrate. Pardon me.
Yeah. So have you been? Oh yeah, you were here on Wednesday, weren't you? Yeah, of course you were. The no one seems to have picked up the some of the things that I've got in the channel. We had loads of people chatting away in the stream on yesterday, but no one was using emotes, so the emotes aren't like splashing up on the screen. I'm just like, someone using emotes. I want to see it.
Use the things which I've worked so hard to do.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
And then it's just like, nope.
I'm trying to get the like just add bells and whistles basically, because everyone else seems to have loads of like nice bells and whistles, and I don't have that many. So I'm trying to just make my stream a little bit more interesting to look at.
Right after you show Mr.
Yeah.
Dave.
And we got the text to speech thing that people can share bits and make things happen. I don't think anyone's found that yet, but it is there, and I'm expecting someone like Daddy to put something very inappropriate coming through it at some point.
How dare you suggest that good,
A
wonderfully
good, fine
clean,
gentleman.
clean member of society would do anything like that?
Oh, perish the thought.
Perish the thought.
Oh, my hands are shaking now because this matters. If I get this wrong, I'm gonna have to bloody go over it again. Oh, come on. I don't want to have to do this again. I need to steady my hand with something. Oh, there we go. I'm just leaning on my knees. This
I
is
think I used to
difficult.
actually do that with steadying myself, but now whenever I do sort of bend my body in order to rest my elbows against my knees, my body's like, nope, nope, you're not capable of this anymore. Please stop. It's like, everything's disconnecting. I'd say disconnecting, dislocating, that's it. It's like, thank you, body. I appreciate all of this. Now please turn off the warning systems.
I can't see now.
Get there.
The sun is going down, I think, at some point soon. Okay. Fuck it. Fuck you! You little bit of bolter bitch. I'm swearing at this model because I've just painted over the red. Wank. Other than that, it's pretty tidy actually. Okay. Relatively tidy work, that. I've done much worse in the past.
Nothing that a good go over won't fix.
Yeah. It is going to need a bit of tidying up, but other than that, not too bad.
When you get into the swing of your method, you'll be flying.
Yeah.
Got that stupid song stuck in my head.
Which one?
It's exceptionally inappropriate. So
So you're not going to say?
I will provide you with its link afterwards,
Oh, okay.
so that you can have it stuck in your head as well.
I look forward to having whatever it is stuck in my head.
Nice quiet section where both of us are
Yeah, both on
deep,
awkward bits.
deep concentration. Nice, excellent.
The fact that this is a metallic arm is gonna be a bit weird. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be like silver on silver, unless I make metallic arm gold for some reason.
Pimpin'. The most pimpin' prosthetics, yo.
I'm gonna make it silver to see if it like looks okay, and then if it doesn't, I'll have to repaint it.
Monster Marine.
Nah, I want to keep it nice and simple if I can. I've got an overcomplicated guard army. I'd rather not overcomplicate this.
Roval Dawns, big old fisty boys.
Indeed. Oh, fuck. up there needs painting. Oh, God damn it. Paint's getting a bit dry now. Oh, I've just absolutely dolloped too much on there. Way too much. Imperial prosthetic is good for use against enemies.
Heretical scum.
Indeed.
Good for all your face-crashing needs.
Oh, he's gonna look like fucking Terminator, man.
Good one.
One giant metal hand.
Huge, just one huge metal fist.
I don't know, it's just gonna remind me of Johnny Silverhand and make me feel sad about life. You know, I've gotten hold of the John Wick movies specifically so that because just to get the taste of like cyberpunk out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I want to see some decent Keanu.
Good Keanu.
Yeah. And I can't be arsed rewatching The Matrix. So I might as well watch that. I've heard it's pretty good.
Which ones?
The John Wick movies.
Oh, I've only seen the first John Wick movie, but it on its own is fucking spectacular.
I look forward to them then. I've also gotten hold of the some of the newer Marvel series. So I'm going to watch through a few of them at some point. Got Loki and what's the
WandaVision?
yeah, I've got WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Got them. So that's going to be some TV that I can watch for a while.
As much as I have not seen any of these things, because TV has a tendency to not grab me very, very tightly with my attention.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people at work who do watch it, and I have been informed that Loki's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Really good. The Winter Soldier one is a nice baseline, but a bit eh.
Okay.
And that WandaVision was kind of garbage.
Oh, okay. I think WandaVision is supposed to be a little bit avant-garde.
More like a sitcom kind of thing rather than
Yeah.
like a standard action, which the other ones are.
Mhm. I don't know whether I'll like it or not. We'll see.
Well, it's all down to personal preferences.
Exactly. I quite enjoyed the Netflix ones. I particularly liked Luke Cage and the Punisher. I've got a Punisher shirt on at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Cage was really good. That had just such a good soundtrack. Like there was points in Luke Cage where like I'd hear a song and I'd literally pause it, find the song, and then like be like, yeah, add it to the Spotify list.
More.
It was awesome. Like, I mean, even if you don't fancy watching the show, go on the Wikipedia and have a look at all the songs that are on it. There is a guy called what's his name? Something Junior, Gary Clark Jr. He is fucking brilliant. He is basically if Jimi Hendrix hadn't have died really young. That's the sort of sound that I'm thinking he'd end up with. He is
So even
modern day Jimi Hendrix with a a little bit more developed guitar work wise. He is really good. Would recommend Gary Clark Jr. to anyone who enjoys sweet guitar work.
10 out of 10.
No, I don't like giving 10 out of 10 to stuff. Especially like there's like probably a list like 10 albums that I'd give 10 out of 10.
11 out of 4. 13 out of 7.
Like an album has to be stonkingly good from start to finish for me to give a 10 out of 10. Oh, you're right, Snooglyphin. How is it going, sir? We
What's
were
going on? Well,
we were wondering how you are getting on with your boys. You have that new set, don't you? And I believe it's fine to talk about now because it's all out on that.
Right. I'm flipping the right one on the right side. Where is it? I am. Haha! By excellent. I'm sticking the correct thing on the correct bit.
You accidentally got it right.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Instead of me, actually looking at the instructions first and then putting the things on it.
See, that's how I ended up sticking the back of my dreadnought upside down.
It does kind of look like a jetpack, though.
It does a bit, yeah. Oh, Snooglyphin's going to join us for some painting next week. Excellent. We'll be back up to a free man. You've got plenty to paint on. He's painted the squiggs so far, painted them multicoloured like skittles. That is cool. If you fancy sending us squig related pictures, we would be most up for that. I want to see some of them.
Show us your squigs.
Show us your squigs. I should still be able to bring it up on screen. I haven't tried doing the WhatsApp screen for a few weeks, but I can always try.
Oh. All of the bones are cracking.
All of them, all at once.
All at the same moment. My mum actually has a bit of a worry because sometimes when I have like a bit of a stretch of the chest,
Yeah.
the middle bit cracks, and that bit's not supposed to crack.
And mine does that. Don't worry.
Is it pop?
Snooglyphin's got a difficult decision ahead. He's trying to decide what clan he wants to paint his squigs. The new boys. Da boys.
Them reds, yo.
You go
so
and
they can go faster.
Da go faster stripes.
I would be very, very tempted to actually put "Go Faster" war paint on my on
your squigs.
On more Richard's squigs.
Nah, Richard's got to paint his own, man. He said he was gonna.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did actually start giving it a try, but he's got a real bad case of the shaky shakes.
Fair enough.
So he's like, right, I've got things sorted. I just can't get it done.
Fair enough.
Can I do it? So he has requested that I take the lead.
Bring some of them on stream, bro.
Thinking about that.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe next week.
Maybe. Anyway, Snow, you've joined us at an apt time. We're talking about, we started talking about, I think it was video game soundtracks, and then I talked about albums.
Netflix.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were talking about Netflix and stuff. What's your favourite video game soundtrack? I'll throw that out to the chat and I'll ask Mr. Badger here. Favourite of all time video game soundtrack?
Dave.
What?
That's actually quite a difficult one to work with. Because as much as I do love my Command & Conquer series stuff.
Yes, Snooglyphin. I'm not 100% sure if that counts. I'm thinking more OST, like an original soundtrack that wasn't just a bunch of songs put in, but absolutely Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was the soundtrack to my early teen years. I will give you that 100%.
It was the soundtrack to a lot of people's early teen years.
It absolutely was. That was
To be
such.
honest, it was the soundtrack to a lot of people's midlife crises.
Well, yeah, I suppose it depends how old you were when it came out, but it absolutely had one of the greatest soundtracks that has ever been released. Just the mixture of songs on it were fantastic. It got me into so many bands that I think similar to that one is the Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Oh yeah,
That got me into a lot of bands. In fact, I got into Megadeth, which was one of my favorite bands for a long time, because of Vice City. So that turned me on to them.
Vice City was a very, very nice soundtrack as well.
I think GTA's have always had very good radio stations, but I think Vice City was the first one to take actual music and whack it straight in there and make it a brilliant thing. GTA 3 tinkered with it, but it wasn't quite as well composed.
I think around those times with GTA 3 and the Vice City, they were probably playing more with the licensing freedom rather than anything. And then when they kind of figured out, the GTA 3 was allowed it, and they went, hang on a second, this one's allowed it. Why not just ramp it up a bit when they made Vice City?
Yeah. I suppose. I think my favourite radio station stuff, the original stuff, was definitely on GTA 2. In fact, this channel's name came from the name of a made-up band that did a punk song called Taxi Drivers. Bulamatari was the band that did that, and I think the song went. Taxi drivers always drive you nuts, but when it comes to revenge, have you got the guts? Something, you little rat. And it was basically a song about killing taxi drivers because they drive like arseholes, essentially. So, yeah. I have got most of this model now painted. I just need to stick it together. The only thing I've not done is the head, which, alarmingly, I can't see. Oh, balls. Don't tell me I've dropped it somewhere. Oh, there it is. I see it. But the head's going to be awkward because it's...
Not a whole...
It's not a whole head. And the chin has sort of semi-come off. Yeah, let me mess with the camera settings and see if I can make it zoom in for you so you can see. Oop. So when it's sheared off, the chin has tried to come off, so it's split, and so I forced it back. So it should be fine once I've painted it, but
once you get a bit of paint on it, once you get a bit of glue underneath it.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm just looking at my Imperial Guard squad. Could I just use an Imperial Guard sergeant's head?
Possibly.
Because I know you get 2 sergeant heads.
You get one with the helmet on, and then you get one with his ginger toupee.
Oh no! Do you not get 2 of the same head? I'm sure that it was basically 2 sprues duplicated.
Well, Miss Dave, you still have a command squad, don't you?
Do you know what? I've actually got... I'll go and get the box. It's just over there.
Because the command squads have some different head variations in.
Yes.
So you can have one with a hat.
Maybe I can use a guard head. But I'm going to show you a thing. You know that... I'm going to go get it. Right, so this was the Warhammer box I used forever. It says Dave's Warhammer box. Well, Dave's Warhammer Army. I was trying to explain to you a type of unit that I bought, but I couldn't really describe it very well to you. So, here is the squad of sort of... I'd sort of describe them as semi-Romans, but I've actually got them here, so they haven't been undercoated or anything.
Oh, they're the vanguards.
Yeah, so I've got some vanguards. Now, I'm pretty sure that because of all of the ultramarine iconography, these will probably have to be ultramarine painted, but I don't know if I can get away with making them fists. I've also got a D&D character I was working on. Huh. There you go, D&D model. And there's the model I got for Vanessa. One of my D&D characters.
I remember good old Vanessa.
Yeah.
Boy, do I remember good old Vanessa.
Yeah. Poor Captain Darkwood.
I hate mages.
Oh, he hates fire, me.
I hate magic.
He hates magic indeed. Right, so I'm going to stick the arms on. So, first things first, let's stick metal arm on. And that's going to be frost forward.
Frost butthole.
Indeed. And then the bolter melter combo.
Anybody gets that reference? No. Pick up in chat.
I'm sure someone
But
will.
also, speaking of where that reference came from, which was the game Grumps, I was coming back from picking up my prescription one day in my Game Grumps t-shirt,
Oh yes.
and there was this lass who just stopped, stared at us for about 5 seconds, and then was like, "Nice t-shirt." And I was
Nice.
like, "Yeah."
Did you get a number?
No, I didn't.
Come on, dude.
I didn't get a number because she looked like she was 16. And I'm 34.
Yeah, probably a good call.
Kind of have a bit of a cutoff point.
Yeah, that was a good call. If Daddy was in chat, he'd be like, "Get a number."
Get me her number.
Right, let's see. So that's the shock troops. I need to find where I put my command squad, which is there. There you go. Acadian command squad.
So you can look through all the different head variations on that. Probably snap for one of those.
Yeah. Right, let's see. No heads on that sprue. Oh, there they are. There's all the heads there. Fuck.
Oh, the fuck.
Oh, yes, there's a power fist there. Oh, love a good power fist, me.
Nice bit of fisting.
Yeah, right. That one's a bit too skinny. That's clearly for the sniper. Oh, there's a guy with a commissar hat looking thing. Okay, let's see. So I only really need... Yeah, I'm going to use this one here. Although it does look a lot smaller. Yeah, Imperial Guard heads are like half the size of Space Marine heads.
Yeah, sadly.
So he'd look like he had a pinhead if I used that one. Good thought though, good thinking.
Small pin like that.
But yeah, go on. What is your favourite OST from a video game?
I think I like a bit of the Final Fantasy. Now it is a bit of a kick up because I'm
Yeah.
not. It's like a toss up between the 8 and 7 because 7 has a lot of the amazing fucking boss music,
It
but
does.
but 8 has a lot of the ambient stuff.
Yeah, I will always love 8, just because that's the first Final Fantasy that I basically played to death. Like I think that's the first Final Fantasy I ever completed.
What they need to do with number 8 is actually redo the graphics.
I mean, there is a remastered version of it now,
But
which
whether or not it's going to be like a much smoother set of character models and things like
I
that.
think they have done that, yeah. Which is one of the reasons I am tempted to do it as a let's play, but that's hundreds of hours, and that's a bit much, I think, for just a let's play. But yeah, I absolutely like 8 is the first Final Fantasy game I ever completed, and just the music from that, just oh my god, I've got the whole OST on my computer, and it's such a nice soundtrack. 7 has as you say, really nice boss themes, and I love the Black Mage's interpretations of them.
Oh, that's what sort of gets me is the Black Mages stuff.
Hmm. Right, I think that's about as much as the flesh as I can do without getting stuck on there. How about Command and Conquer Red Alert?
Now, which one?
The first one.
That one will always have a love in my heart.
Yeah.
But I also do love Red Alert 3.
Hmm. That had some beastie tunes, that.
Red Alert 3's sort of reimagining of a lot of the older tunes there was just like
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
I mean, you heard a bit of Guilty Gear stuff at the beginning.
Guilty Gear music is phenomenal. I mean, even if you've heard like the new stuff of
Yeah,
Strive that Will Richards done a bit of.
yeah. It's their soundtracks are always good. But yeah, it's really nice. I like Devil May Cry's soundtracks; they're quite good. Oh, hello, Vegan Pork. Thank you for the lurk, sir. We always appreciate that here. Hope your day's going well anyway. If you're about.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just painting a bit of Warhammer here, so don't mind us.
We are. We're doing this. We're
Yes.
trying to do this.
Trying. I mean, undercoating a yellow model black is just... It's a recipe for disaster. But I'm getting there.
This is why you can't see my face most of the time because you won't see me turn to the camera and just have that guilty look for the fact that I've practically undercoated everything black
Yeah.
that has ever existed.
Yeah. Hopefully my next Space Marine models will be better because I'll undercoat them in grey. I could do it in white, but I feel like if I do it in grey, it's a good middle ground, and I can get the good contrast at the same time as having easier to paint models.
True.
And also, it won't be a completely different shade of yellow to the models I've already painted, which is a danger.
That is an equal thing as well. Like
Yeah.
a risky business.
Tis risky. Yeah. Oh shit! Where's some? Got so many blobs now on this palette. I think I need a fresh palette at some point.
It will turn into everybody else's palette where it's paint upon paint upon paint.
Yeah.
And then you've got to fight to figure out which one's the wet pile and which one isn't.
That's exactly what I've just done, and I'm just like, where is it? Must find.
By the time you found it, it's gone dry again, so you've got to get a fresh one.
Yeah. That's life. That's what all the people say. One game that had a fantastic soundtrack. Now I'm gonna stay away from like games that have soundtracks which is just like music that already exists. Um, I'm gonna just do an honourable mention for the first three Wipeout games, which had an OST done by a guy called Cold Storage, and he is a very talented sort of dance music maker who did a lot of music on a lot of the default tunes on Music 3000. But that, yeah, it's just an honourable mention. But there's a PC game called Hooligans Storm Over Europe, I think it's called, and that had an extremely aggressive metal soundtrack. And it was basically a game about being football hooligans storming over Europe. And it was a real-time strategy game where you basically went from bar to bar recruiting more and more hooligans and basically causing shit in European cities. And it was really fun. It was a really fun game. It was very hard. But like the guitar work in that soundtrack, I'm going to have to try and get hold of it again. I know my dad's got a copy of it somewhere in his house. And the only problem is I don't have a CD drive in this computer. So I might have to go plug it into my laptop, rip the songs, and then like transport them over. So yeah, so that had a fantastic soundtrack. If you're into your sort of floaty, really chilled out techno, which I am, I must say, personally, a game called Thunder Brigade had a fantastic sound. I loved that game. No one has ever heard of Thunder Brigade. It was basically an anti-gravity tank game where you went around alien planets shooting the shit out of other alien tanks and installations. I think it was like late 90s, and it was like, you know, when 3D graphics weren't particularly good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was around that sort of time, but it played immensely well. I had a computer back in the day. I think it was a HP, and it had Civilization 2 Test of Time. Fucking immense game, that. Mech Warrior 3, I think it was. And it had Thunder Brigade on it, and those three games got me through a lot of hours. So yeah, there you go. There's a few of my favourites anyway. Civilization 2 Test of Time, I am going to go out and say, is the best Civilization that has ever been made.
Was that the original start to the game, you mean?
I think it may have been, yeah. It was specifically the Test of Time edition, which was like pretty much the Game of the Year edition before Game of the Year editions were a thing. And it had expansion packs packed into it, where it modded the game to be... there was a science fiction mode, which was a lot more in-depth than Alpha Centauri.
Yes.
And it had the fantasy mode as well, where you could play orcs, elves, humans, all that sort of thing. And it had... and it had dragons instead of barbarians and stuff. And that was a fantastic... I used to play the fantasy mode a lot. It was so good. I think Civilization games need to have that as a standard mode, but I don't think they're going to. Or at least if they did now at these days, you'd have to pay 20 quid for it.
DLC, Graham.
To be fair, I would pay happily 20 quid for like a Test of Time sort of style expansion to Civ 6. I'd pay probably full price for it. just because I'd probably get a lot of hours out of it. Like, there's only so many times you can replay like real world Civilization, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, essentially, you can only really replay it as many times as there are characters,
Well, not even
so
that,
that
because
you can test the different economic.
I would say, as a general rule of thumb, you'd probably get 4 or 5 replays out of it, unless you're like absolutely obsessed with it. Like, I will once a year usually dive back into Civ and spend a week obsessively playing it and finish a long campaign, and then I'm done with it for another year, basically. But like,
A recurring crack habit.
yeah, basically. It's usually when I take a week off work and I just want to disappear for a while. It's pretty much that. It's always installed on my machine just in case to get the urge. But like the test of time really gave it a bit of flavour. Yeah, it's different. You're not just playing another campaign against everyone that you already
You're
know.
playing what is almost an entirely different style of game
Yeah, all the
because
science
instead of
trees are completely different. All the units are different. Yeah, and it plays much. Yeah, it's different basically. Is the general rule of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's good. It's really good, and I wish that modern civs would do it more. No, I need to find something to paint that isn't the head, because at the moment I'm trying to let it dry, but because I want to stick it on, but I need to wait for it to dry. So I'm going to paint the purity seal, the white bit there.
paint all of it.
Don't want to paint too much of it. Got too much paint on my brush here. Concentration face. Do. Concentration face.
See the power of humming and singing.
Exactly. It's the way to do it. Have you got any sort of key sort of PC gaming memories from back in day? Games that you'll never forget because they were just intrinsic to your love of video games?
There are a few.
Go on, give us one.
Right now, this is like a really, really like weird third-party PlayStation-esque game. Well, it is like PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah.
It was called Brahma Force.
It was called what? Sorry.
Brahma Force.
Brahma Force.
Yes.
As in the beer, Brahma.
Brahma.
So yeah, like Brahma, the beer.
And what it was is you essentially were this dude in a mech suit
Okay.
who went to a space station that they'd lost contact with, and essentially you're fighting through all the different levels, activating the computer systems, repairing like life support and all that stuff during the whole mission string, only to find out that it's good old stock cliche thing of the space station's AI went weird and killed everybody, and so you end up essentially finishing off the AI and fixing everything again. And you fly out, and it it had very, very awful like potato face CGI,
Nice.
but it was just the way that the whole thing felt. And when you're sitting there, you sort of like have gun in one hand and like a punch in the other, and you're like da 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 da. It was almost like a Mech Warrior before I really got into Mech Warrior.
I love it when a game just gets atmosphere right. I would say that's kind of what Vampire the Masquerade did for us. It wasn't particularly great looking. Didn't look terrible by all means. Like especially compared to like some of the games I've been let's playing recently, like Ape Escape. The first Ape Escape had some atrocious textures.
The first Ape Escape, as you have mentioned many times, was a tech demo.
Yes, it was.
It somehow turned into a game.
Yeah, but the point is, I love it when a game can just build atmosphere, and that's almost the most important thing in a game, if you know what I mean.
That was part of it that I had for the Brahma Force because
Hmm.
it didn't really. I mean, the cutscenes in that had music,
Yeah.
but it didn't really have music during the levels,
Mm.
and because of that sort of like weird draw distance thing that the where it blacks out after a certain length of time,
Yeah.
it almost gave it a horror
Horror
game
element.
kind of feel to it, which made you be like nervous about
Ah.
going to certain areas or overstretching your abilities. And it did have a like a low ammunition kind of thing, so you had to be careful with your resources in the levels.
Yeah.
Though I do remember that there was one gun that trumped every other gun.
Uh,
And it was a triple-barreled cannon shot. It had about the same fire rate as your standard cannon, but it just ruined things. So you get it in like the third mission or
fuck.
something. Careful. Get it in the third mission, and that's it. No other guns required. Just pat, 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 pat.
Oh. Because it's got no ball. It's this head is a bit awkward.
Difficult to shtick.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to glue it in like a weird place, I think.
And I will say right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is generally the use for green stuff.
I've managed to get it to stick, I think. It doesn't look pretty at the moment because this is going to need liquid talent all over it. Because at the moment it sort of just looks like a towel
Bit
face, if anything else. Let's let me just focus that in there for you. There you go.
Actually, that's looking pretty spiffy.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, does it?
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, that face is going to need a little bit of liquid talent, and then the white on the eye and the teeth, and the other eye is going to go red. I think I've put a big splodge of metal on his forehead. I think it must have rolled into a wet splodge of metal, of lead belcher. Oh well, but he's looking all right. He's looking all right, me little Space Marine sergeant.
He is.
I'm happy with that, considering he didn't exist until about an hour ago.
Yeah. When you were like, "Where's my sergeant?"
Yeah. Did I not make a sergeant? Why? Why?
No, it was more the case of, "Where's my sergeant?" And I was like, "Look through your dudes, Dave." It's like, I've got two special weapons guys here. I was going to say, take one of them apart, Dave.
Oh no, the special weapons guys are staying. I've got a plasma gun and I've got a melter gun, I believe. I'm not sure they'll be able to be in the same squad, but they're there.
Well, this is the cunning thing. There is rules for tactical squads. Oh no, wait, you would still have to have them as a single squad, with a single special weapon in it. But what the tactical rule allows you to do is it allows you to, after you've deployed them, break them up into 2 5-man squads.
Okay.
So essentially, if you've got a 10-man tactical squad,
Yeah.
you can split them up into 2 5-man squads, and they can act as separate squads for like coherency and taking objectives and things like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice.
Right, let me just get that there. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Sweet. So, that is that model there. And now, I think it's a case of doing some washing and tidying. Now, obviously the lines on these shoulder pads aren't particularly straight. Do you think I should straighten them out and then do the wash, or should I wash it and then straighten them out?
Like, how is it
Yeah,
wonky?
I'll show you. Okay, so this model here, you see that there, the little line there. There's
Yeah.
a little bit of bleeding, and the same with this guy. Would you say tidy that up first, and then do a bit of washing, and then highlighting?
Uh, right, tidy it up first,
Okay.
because if you do end up doing a bit of a squiffy job with the tidy up, then
Yeah.
the wash will hide whatever it is. And it's always easier to hide a lighter onto a darker color.
Okay. Let's do some tidying, and I'll see if I can get these two models like table ready and tidy. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. That's good. Let's go grab some of this paint.
Oh, bugger me, we've been gone for that long, haven't we?
How long's it been going?
It's like half eight, Dave.
Oh man, we usually only go on till 9. Now, Daddy's been streaming this week, hasn't he?
He has.
I
And
wonder
it
if
was
he's going to
really,
do his
really
usual
nice.
Monday night.
It was really, really nice to see him back in the game.
It absolutely was. I am so happy to see him. I was in a stream of his yesterday. He was playing Orcs Must Die Free. He just had a little quick stream there. That was a lovely time. I was just about to go to bed yesterday, and I saw him come online. I was like, oh bloody hell! I'm gonna have to go get a cup of tea.
So look at that. See what he's up to.
Yeah,
Lucky luck.
I know I wasn't lurking. I was fully abusing him in
But
chat.
I was about to say at that particular time of night, I probably would have been passed out.
It was only about
Right.
9, 10 o'clock, something like that.
Well, I was going to say yesterday I had somewhat a lot to drink.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, you went down the
So
pub, didn't you?
I did go down the pub. And I enjoyed spending time with I would say my local landlady. The bloody pub that I picked to be my local used to be 5 minutes around the corner when I lived in my other
Do you know what?
flat,
I am in
but it's
exactly the same.
now on the opposite side of the bloody town.
Yeah. Yeah, my local, in inverted commas, is like literally right over the road from me mum and dad's. And the pub near me right now is so shit. I still go back there if I need to go to the pub. Because
This is
it's
an
just,
emergency. You just kick in the door.
yeah.
Beer me.
Yeah, like if I want to go and actually watch a football match, I'll go there. Just because it's just a nicer pub, it's got nicer beer, and I kind of know the landlord. I say know the landlord. I don't even think he knows my name, but like he recognises me
Yeah, that's the thing.
and
As
always
long as the
comes over and
landlord,
has a little chat.
as long as you have like good relations with your local publican,
Yeah,
then they know that you're not going to pull shit if things get weird.
exactly. I know when I turned, I think it was 21. He put banners up for us and everything,
Hey,
so that was nice. Right.
Patrick.
Actually, no.
Now
What?
that
It
you're
wouldn't have been 21. It would have been 25 or something. Because I was out of uni by then.
now that you have actually remembered the fact that you didn't paint the gloves beforehand, get doofus. Time to paint the gloves that I've forgotten beforehand.
Yes. Okay. So I need a little bit of tidy in there. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Sweet. So that's the yellow tidying done. Got a little bit of metal tidying that I just spotted that I need to do. And then it's a case of liquid talent. Let's see how we get on there. I want to use Agrex Earthshade, I think. Because I think Null Oil will be a bit too severe on the yellow.
Yeah. I mean, Agrex will give it a dirtier appearance, but yet again, it's a brown shade. It should be
Yeah, it should
good
work
enough.
well with it.
Good enough. I just realised how many tiny little dinky bits are on this actual model.
Dingly dinky bits.
Yeah, really, really fiddly annoying parts.
Yeah.
It's a technical term, don't you know?
Do. Oh, fuck. Brush went everywhere then. I'm very lucky that didn't hit anything.
Unlike me, who has a tendency that when I drop my shit, it bounces and paints everything around me. Even if it was a dry brush.
Yeah. Okay. That should be fine. Okay, just need to get that little thing on the face without actually painting any of the skin. Please. Please don't paint the skin. Okay.
Mission accomplished?
Yes.
Excellent.
Nearly.
Not so excellent.
Now yes. Haha.
Excellent.
Okay. That's good there. You can happily just sit off there. You can have a little bit more silver on you. You need your little legs doing.
You know what? Just having a look at this, probably will paint the silver sections black.
See, it was always a thing that it could have if you'd have painted it black and you decide you wanted it silver, that would have been a bigger pain in the arse.
Well, I'll at least do it for like the limbs.
Boom. Right. So that is a good job there. Now I just need to get just a little bit of the Agrex in there, in its little nooks and crannies. I'm going to use a slightly fatter brush for this. Well, I'm actually going to use a one of the brushes from Games Workshop, which are a bit pants, but for washing, not too bad. Okay, I'm actually going to move my. That's it. There you go. Okay, so where do I start? It's always a problem. I never know where to start with washing.
It depends on what washers you're going with. Usually I start on the backpack, then go to the shoulders, then round the chest, and then down the legs.
Yeah.
Essentially, working from top to bottom.
Yeah, I'm only going to shove it in the nooks and crannies because I don't particularly want to spoil the orange.
Mm.
So I'm only really going to go into the divots.
I'm gonna have to wait until I've got this stuck together before I do that. Oh, that's going to be interesting, but so far it's looking good.
Excellent. Oh, that's looking nice. Okay. Just grab some of the earth shade out there. Whack it on there. I need a little bit more. Whack it on there. The Terminator arm. Yes, that's what we like. Liquid talent.
How to make your models look better and also cover up all the shit mistakes.
Oh, we know there's plenty of those.
I swear by it.
Right, I'm just going to slap it all over the face and then give it some highlights when... give the skin the highlights once it's dried off.
Ooh,
Don't mind his face looking a bit muddy, to be honest. Alright, that's that one done. I'll place it. Guess what I just did?
Did you just drop the brush?
I just dropped my fucking model and his arm just fell off. Fuck the fuck.
Science.
His head's not fallen off. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's good.
What is that? Oh, fuck. I nearly just fell off me.
Go level backwards.
God damn it. Got all the fluff stuck on his head.
Sprint me with the toupee.
Well, I can liquid talent his gun at least while it's off. Swings and roundabouts. Gotta take the good while you can. Luke, stop biting yourself, please. Okay. I will stick that gun back on shortly. Okay. So that's just a backpack. That's where we usually start. As good place as any. And then we're gonna just get more. Get the bolt gun metal, sorry, the lead belcher a little bit more muddy.
I know what you're talking about.
I know you do, but some of our younger viewers might not. There was a time before it was called lead belcher. Back in the early 2000s.
Before the end times, while fantasy still existed.
Yes. All right.
Actually, I think I can do something a bit special with this.
So what came first, Age of Sigmar or Vermintide?
Vermintide came first, I think.
Did Vermintide cause the end of fantasy? Or was Vermintide, was Age of Sigmar in the works whilst Vermintide was getting done?
I think Vermintide was sort of like a carryover thing, almost.
Okay, because that is set in the Age of Sigmar, is it not? Or that's
Oh,
almost the precursor to the Age of Sigmar?
it's before it's before the end times fully kicked off. It's during that big war up to the end times itself.
Yeah, because I know that the end of Vermintide 2, I believe, is basically the end time, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, essentially.
That's basically the cataclysm that causes the death of the fun armies.
Just the fun.
Yeah. Okay. We have muddied our models. Going to give a little dabbity dab of the super glue to get his arm back on. A little bit more glue than we had last time.
Mhm.
And just
Where's the
there you go.
as well?
Haha. There we go. His arm is back on. For how long? We cannot tell.
Until you drop it next.
Probably. It won't be long. I'm gonna let it dry. Just hands off, because otherwise I'll just end up making the paint look a bit weird. He says hands off, picking up the skin tone. I need the smallest of my brushes to do the really fine work. Okay. Is that finished? There's a big piece of fluff stuck to it. Let's use me cutters to see if I can just nip it and pull it off. There you go. Pull it off. Work.
Just too fast, Dave. Just too quick.
Alright. That's me. Okay. That's pretty good. Well,
brilliant.
let the nooks and crannies stay the way they are. I just want to get that chin.
Now I've got to go get paints from my thing that's over there now. Right in the back there, because it's not on my desk anymore. Go get a jiffet.
In a jiffet. Okay. So I'm trying to get this guy's face doing. Trying to get it looking okay. Got a few bits I need to do on it. So, right, so Badger.
Yeah.
The eyes on these guys are supposed to be blue. Now, I have a sort of a cyborg guy on here.
They're actually supposed to be green, Dave.
On the colour guide it says blue. Anyway, the cyborg guy here, I was going to do it red, but should I do it blue to go with the others?
If you want to keep it in line, then I would say go ahead, do it blue. It'll be different.
Yeah. And there you go. Oh, work. Come on, camera. There you go. Alright, so I need white. White scar. Just a little bit of white there. I only need a tiny amount on my brush for this. Literally doing one eyeball and teeth. I'll do the teeth first. Okay. Oh my god. My hand's shaking like a bitch.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is no eyeballs. Because people can't paint them.
giving him a milk tash.
Just means he has strong bones, Dave.
Aye.
Strong bones.
I've given him a milk tash and his eye's gone a bit weird. Right, I'll do the blue on the other one and then I'll come back and fix it with some more skin tone. Okay, I'm actually going to unleash for the first time the thinnest brush that this set came with, which is so small. Right, I'm going to use Macridge Blue. There we go. A little throwback to the old army. Okay. Just a little beady Terminator eye in blue. That's actually pretty spot on, I like that. And then the eyeballs on this head. I just need to thin the, get rid of some of the paint off that. It's
I
going
do
to splash
apologise
anywhere.
to anybody in chat or anybody viewing. If every so often they just watch me freeze in position, my brain is sort of. I do something and then my brain calculates what to do next, but that obviously needs more processing power than my body has available. So everything else shuts down, and then I think, and then I do.
Yeah, it's been.
So if I just stop, it's like system check. Okay, next
fine.
task. Let's go.
We get it. It's good. It has been a very sort of concentration face filled episode today. Right. Now I need the skin back to fix what I've messed up there.
So you can take his mustache off.
Yep, his moustache.
What if somebody had a moose stash? Like they just had a big hidden amount of mooses somewhere.
I think that would be a jolly fun time. It's not perfect, but it'll do. I need a bit of white. It's just trying to get it so it doesn't look like a mustache. Okay. I know it's probably not dry at this moment in time, so this might not actually work, but I know where I want this little blob of white. It's just getting it on there. I think I've done it. Yes. A little bit of Agrex over that and that'll look fine. And then there's one final thing that we need to do to turn this model into finished, basically table ready, as they say. And that's the tiny, tiny pupil. Where's my black gone? There it is.
Which 99% of the time doesn't go where you want it to. Not one bit.
It's got a little blob of black on the tiniest brush I have. And then... Okay. It's not quite enough paint on there.
Well, the big risk is that
Yes,
you
I am
put so little paint on
fully...
it, that it just dries out instantly.
Yeah. That will do. Yes.
And then you don't have to go back to them ever again.
I'm just going to do a couple of little details on his head. On his forehead, he's got a couple of little spots, so I'm going to use Wild Rider Red just to give it a little bit of a... So he's got a couple of little reddy spots going on there. Little pustules, almost. That's pretty fucking good, that. Nice. Alright, I just... That's probably one of the best faces I've done for a long time. I think I just need a teeny weeny bit of Agrex just on the mouth, just to make the teeth look a little bit less buck-toothed. Just to, you know, just to fill in the mouth a bit, because the paint's gone a bit in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of Agrex. Boop, boop, boop. A bit more than that, I think. Yep. So I want to basically just fill his gob. And then just a little dab. Get rid of the excess. I think that's good. That is good.
All is good in the Emperor's hood.
Badger, I have 2 table-ready models.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. So,
Glorious stuff, good sir.
yeah, how are you getting on?
Um, but actually, looking at it the way it is, probably just got a few little touch-up areas, and then I should be able to stick this together.
Nice. So what?
And that should be it.
Nice. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tidy up my bases because there's a little bit of yellow and stuff on it. Just to make it tidier. Just paint it black again, as the doors say. I know, was that the doors? Was that the Rolling Stones?
I think it might have been the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I think it was the Rolling Stones. Second guessed myself in a second. I was like, yes. That is not the doors. Yeah, it's definitely the Rolling Stones, just thinking about it now. I'm just trying to like listen to the song in my head and it's definitely Jagger. Yeah, the doors did break on through to the other side. Okay. Tidy base. I just need a splodge. A splodge on my palette. There you go. Give me enough wet paint to work with. The light behind me is just running out. I think the days are going to start getting shorter, aren't they?
We're on that stage now.
Yep. Winter, here we come. And personally, after the week or so we've had, I cannot fucking wait.
I think we'll have a relatively warm but wet, sort of like autumn winter season.
Autumn might be warm but wet, but I'm pretty sure that winter's going to be freezing, because usually directly followed by a very, very hot summer comes a very, very cold winter. It's the way that the El Nino sort of lines up, if you get what I mean.
But have we actually had the El Nino?
The El Nino is happening whether we have it or not. What I mean is the jet stream, basically. It's the way that the jet stream goes around in a zigzag pattern, and usually hot summers are followed directly by cold winters. And it's usually every 3 years that we get the really, really cold winters, and I think 3 years ago was the time when everyone's boilers were freezing over. So I think we are due one. But yeah.
Ready for a visit from the coldest.
I can't wait. Because I've always said you can put clothes on, but you can't take them off. Well, not according to Twitch, anyway.
There's only so much you can take off before things start getting.
Yeah, and even then, you know, you're down to starkers, and it's still bloody warm. What the fuck do you do about it?
You peel the skin.
Remove this flesh.
Epidermis.
Yes, remove this flesh packet, which is keeping me warm. God damn it.
Remember.
Flesh packet. Mmm. Yummy.
That sounds like a death metal band.
Flesh packet.
I'll have that stupid fucking font.
Oh yeah, the one that everyone's got.
Every
with the, like,
death metal band.
It's like, oh, that's black metal, isn't it? Death metal's a slightly different font.
Aye, but it's still practically the bloody same font.
Yeah.
It's like, if I cannot read what the name of your band is, then you do not deserve to be famous.
Right, so I think just for the sake of having it on the model, I'm going to reattach this guy's plasma rifle, even if it does make my job slightly more difficult later on, because I know that I'm just going to lose it. Yeah, sticking metal onto plastic is never a fun time. As is evidenced by the fact that this is just not staying. I think it was supposed to go on that way, like that. Go on then. Stick on like that. Hey, there you go. Plasma gun. So next week, I'm going to do the special weapons guys, the plasma and the melter gun, so you get to see me do some plasma work, which I'm going to have to look up a tutorial of in the week.
I can give you some hints beyond the stream.
Yes.
About it as well, but it will pretty much say exactly the same thing. But you'll see it and you'll understand what I mean whenever I say it.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of work to do, as I need to get the face painted still and highlighted, and I need to essentially stick the bloody thing together. So I'm currently at a loss Dave is 2 models up to my not
Uh-oh.
finished.
Well, that's a weird one, isn't it? So, do you want to show your model anyway?
Right.
Yeah, I'll put you
At the
on
moment,
Badger Cam.
At the moment, this is essentially what I got. It's just the main body of the thing, but it's almost there.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I
looking
really
pretty
am.
good.
I'm not that far off actually finishing this. There's a few highlights, then it's sticking the thing together, pretty much.
Nice.
That should be it.
So, I'm going to boot up the theme. There it is. So, I'm going to put you onto Bullcam and then get my camera stuff ready so I can show you the 2 models I've finished. So I have got table ready. Have a look at this face, dude. That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's a good face.
Yeah, man. So I've got my Imperial Fist Captain, or Sergeant. Yeah, Sergeant. He's a Sergeant. With his metal hand and chainsword, and a sort of melter gun bolter combo situation. And then I've got my basic squad. Oh, those eyes need tidying up. He looks like he's had a cry and his mascara is running. So I'll do that almost immediately once we've finished here.
Mascara Marines.
Yes, Mascara Marines. So yeah, this has been a nice stream. Oh, the webcam's not turned on. Give me a second. There we go. Mr. Badger, whilst I have a look and see if there's anyone to raid, would you like to tell the ladies and gentlemen what it is that you do and why they should follow you?
Of course. I am the Badger. I do painting and drawing streams on Tuesday and Thursdays now. You can join me for those at 12 PM GMT, where for the most part I will be painting more Warhammer and models from a variety of different games, be they board games or other parts of the Warhammer franchise.
Yeah.
And when it comes to drawing, I'm just going to be drawing whatever my brain decides, or in the future, whatever people might decide. I will take that with a grain of salt.
Last week, Badger proved that he is the internet's #1 Shrek hentai artist, so tune in for that tomorrow at midday and we'll force him to do more Shrek hentai. In terms of this channel, we do this every Monday, Bulamatari's Paint Club. On a Wednesday, we do multiplayer Wednesdays, and on Saturdays and Sundays at 1 PM, we do Let's Plays. We haven't decided what we're doing for the next Let's Play. I might continue one of the ones I sort of abandoned halfway through. We'll see. But yeah, we'll see you then, and hit that follow button if you like the sound of that sort of thing. All of the things you can see. Oh, hang on. For some reason, you can't see all of the stuff. Socials. There it is. We're going to raid into Jono, who is currently playing Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green. So click on the raid and support Jono. He's a nice fella. He's local to me. So yeah, we'll see you then. Ta-ra all. Bye.
Toodles.
Oh my god, Dave with the raid! Dude, thank you so much!
There we go.